Well, I'll say here's my first take on this game. The blown leads really need to stop. It's getting old. It's really getting old. What is this? I think like what 4 games in a row where we've blown a lead. Four, maybe 5. Even going back to the games against the Devils, I think we've blown leads in those games. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we blew in both games against the Islanders. We blew multiple goal leads. In Wednesday's game against the Bruins, blew a 2-goal lead in the third period. And tonight's game, we blew a 1-0 lead in the third period, and we end up losing the game 2-1. We allow Boston to score 2 goals in a span of, 27 seconds, just like that. And they're definitely 2 goals that Brian Elliott would want back. Because it sucks to say that, because in the first 2 periods, even like slightly into the third period, Brian Elliott was great. Brian Elliott was one of the main reasons the Flyers were in this game. And I think a lot of people, from the way I'm going to try to explain this, I feel like a lot of people are going to take this the wrong way. But if you look at, this is the type of loss that makes Wednesday's loss look 10 times worse. Because Wednesday's game, like, I know in both games they have a chance to win because you both had the lead. Wednesday's game, you had the 2-goal lead. Tonight's game, you have the 1-goal lead in the third period. You blow both of those. But I feel like this loss especially makes Wednesday's looks 10 times worse. Because, say you get the 2 points in Wednesday's game. And if you look at this game, it's a hard-fought game throughout the entire 60 minutes. It ends up being a 1-goal game to finish off. And it was a hard-fought contest throughout the entire thing. I feel like this loss, like I said, makes Wednesday's look so much worse. Because say they got the 2 points on Wednesday, which they didn't, and I know they didn't, this loss would sit better with people. Because I feel like overall, yeah, there are definitely some chances, there are definitely some aspects from this game that needs to be way better, that the Flyers need to be way better on. And a lot of things that still become very frustrating. Because you've already lost to Boston 4 times this year. And especially when you lose in a division, when you're only playing divisional games, those are a lot of points that are falling off the board. Especially when you lost to Boston 4 times, and you played 4 times and you only got 2 out of a possible 8 points. Both of those 2 points coming in an overtime game. Or overtime games. And it just feels like it's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain because, like I said, if you get the 2 points on Wednesday and you have this hard-fought game today and you lose 2-1, yeah, it comes out to that way as, okay, sometimes that type of game happens. Because tonight the Flyers were much better defensively. They got back. They defended very well. The offense just wasn't there tonight. They didn't have it tonight offensively. And it kind of does feel like, too, when the Flyers actually have good offensive games. Well, not offensive, defensive games. And it's very rare this season that they have good defensive games. That they struggle to score offensively. They struggle to put the puck into the net. And they really struggled today. And I wouldn't even say Tuukka Rask had a good game. There were a lot of chances for the Flyers to score in this game. Tuukka Rask, he was giving up some rebounds. The Flyers weren't getting to the loose pucks. And like the Flyers had 5 power plays this game. And they only scored on 1 of those. And they had 4 power plays in the first period. That's a moment in the game where you really need to put it out of reach. Maybe you score on 2 of those power plays in the first. And you also get the JVR goal that's in the third period. And it's 3-0. But then you're also talking about, okay, the Flyers can't hold a lead for their life. And Boston, I think this is their 5th game in a row where they came back to win the game. So that's also a question about Boston's sustainability. Even though I know Boston's a way better team, but even that sustainability for Boston, having to come back every single game, how much does that put onto the team, and how much does that, I would say, wear them out to consistently have to come back into the game and win it? But that's another topic for another day. But just, if I'm looking at this game entirely, I think the Flyers they played much better than Wednesday, way much better. But there are still glaring issues. And I know I was on the watch party today for the Painted Lines, and I know in my post-game report, I worded my phrase wrong that said I'm fine with this loss. Like, you're definitely not okay with any loss. All losses are not good. Especially when you're playing every team in your division for the entire season. And you've already played Boston 4 times. You've already lost them 4 times. And you're going to have to play them another 4 times this season. Definitely, like, these like divisional games are definitely points. When you lose in regulation, they're points that you throw away. That's definitely one of the reasons. Tonight, the offense didn't have it. And they need to find a way to be better at like that. When you have these good defensive games, you need to find a way to cash in on the chances that they got, because the Flyers had a ton of chances in this game. Jake Voracek having some odd man rushes early on in the game. He elects to pass the puck when he maybe should have taken the shot. First period, like I said, 4 power plays. Some of them didn't look that very good, but then you also had a 4-on-3 where it looked like they struggled as well to set up anything and get some chances on the net. I think going into their 4th or 5th power play, they only had 4 shots total on the entire, like, all of their power play sequences combined. That needs to be way better. If you have 4 power plays up until that point in the third period, you need to have at least, 7, 8, 9, 10 shots on net already? Sometimes it looks like they struggle to generate any type of shots on the power play. And like I said, the Flyers had so many chances in this game to score too. They did. And they need to be better at finding a way to cash it in. It does suck because right now, Konechny is struggling. I know people that now are pointing out Oscar Lindblom and Nolan Patrick. Like, I'm not being as tough on Nolan. I understand it's a shortened season. I do. But I'm not taking it as... It is glaring that Lindblom and Patrick aren't generating enough offense. I understand that. But I'm still... Lindblom is just coming off of cancer. And he's probably still not fully 100%. Probably not even fully. And I know, like, the argument will come, why is he playing in the games? Because he's healthy enough to play. And you're going to put him in the lineup when he's healthy. Nolan Patrick, it's his first time playing in a season in a year and a half. And I feel like he is, there are some games where he does stand out, and there's some games when he does go invisible. I understand that. I understand it completely. And yes, they do need to start chipping in more offensively. But to say I would think they're offensively challenged is not the right word, because some people in the live chat did point out that they were offensively challenged. And I don't believe that, because this team can score. They just didn't have it tonight. They didn't. And like I said, this loss makes Wednesday's loss look 10 times worse. Because you get the 2 points on Wednesday, and you lose a hard-fought battle like this, you're fine with it. You get 2 out of the 4 points in this 2-game set. But now you only get one out of a possible 4 points, because you choked Wednesday's game and you lost in overtime, and technically you choked in this game because you blew the 1-goal lead. And those goals by Moose, he really needs to have those. The first one, bad rebound, and it falls into the blue paint, and there's a puck battle, and Marchand finds a way to get a stick on it. The second one by Sean Corrali, he needs to have that. He really needs to have that, because it's Sean Corrali coming up on the left side, gets across the blue line right above the left side circle, and he puts the puck onto the net, and Moose just misses it. I don't know if there was a screen involved in the defenseman coming back into the play. Maybe Moose didn't see it, but I think Moose saw it all the way, and he needs to stop that. It went like right above his glove, off the post, and into the net. He needs to stop that. He definitely does. And I hate saying that too, because Moose had a great game tonight, besides those 2 goals. He was the main reason he were in the game. But he was also the reason why they lost the game too. Well, one of the reasons why they lost the game. Because you can't allow Boston to score 2 goals in a span of that short amount of time. Because it was literally 27 seconds, it's 2-1 Boston, in midway through the third period. Because, once again, and like there's kind of similarities to Wednesday's game too, especially in the third period. Besides all the penalties. Because there weren't that many penalties in the third period regardless, but they need to... It felt like in the beginning of the third period, on Wednesday and today, Flyers get the early goal. Voracek did it on Wednesday. JVR did it today on the power play. And JVR, continuing his hot start to the season, he got another goal, and it was a beautiful tip and out the shot from Gustafsson from the point. And you get that early goal. You make it 1-0. But then when you get to that halfway point in the period, Boston wins an important faceoff in the offensive zone. They battle for it. They get a shot onto the net. Elliott gives up the bad rebound, and they find a way to scramble and bury it into the net. And then it finds a way. They build that momentum, and then directly right after that, they make it 2-1. You can't let that happen. You can't let that spiral of momentum just shift that drastically. You can't let them, when they score one time, you can't let them score the very next second they get. Because that also comes to you need to score on your chances that you get throughout this entire game. Like I said, Voracek had the chance, a lot of the odd man chances in this game, especially early on, and he elected to pass rather than to shoot. Joel Farabee, he had the penalty shot at the end of the second period when he was coming out of the penalty box. Got slightly on a breakaway, and he got tripped going into Rask. Got a penalty shot, and I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what the thought process was during that penalty shot. He just comes up, a little bit of speed, and then he just puts the shot on net, and that was it. Easy save for Rask. Because it feels like it's way too similar with our shooters that going to either, if it's a penalty shot or a shootout, it feels like it's the same things that they do every time. They come up, they don't use that much speed, they don't try to get the goaltender moving, they just throw the puck onto the net and hope it goes in. That's what it feels like a lot of these guys do. Giroux gets into the habit of doing that. Voracek gets into the habit of doing that. Farabee has done it some of the times he's gotten his chances in the shootout. Konechny does that. A lot of players on this team do the same thing. And it's just make the goaltender move. Make him move. Deke him out. Get him going down. Try to move him out. Try to juke him out and find a way to put the puck into the net. Just don't do this lackadaisical, I'm just going to throw the puck on the net and hope it goes in. Because it looked like Farabee was trying to go 5-hole. Rask got down like way before the puck even came to him. You got to be better. You got to be way better. But like I said, this loss makes Wednesdays 10 times worse. It does. I know I've said that so many times in this video. I have. But it does. It really does. Because I believe the Flyers played a much better game tonight. They played probably one of the best games the entire season. The offense wasn't there tonight. And like I said, they had their chances to score, and they couldn't. 5 power play chances, you only scored on one of them. The power play needs to be better. And this power play especially, it's very hot and cold. Very hot and cold. There's like some instances where it's really hot, and other instances where it's really cold and they look like they can't do anything. And tonight, it was the power play that looked like they couldn't do anything. Because they struggled. It kind of felt like they were trying to find a way to make that perfect play way too much. And especially when you get that power play late in the third period when you have a chance to tie in the game. Especially late in that third period when you have all of that zone time and you can't find a way to put the puck into the net. TK almost had a chance to bury one when it was 1-0. All those chances on the power play, that power play late in the game, those chances late in the game when you pull Moose to try to get the extra attacker out on there. You need to be way better. And I know, like I said, some people took it the wrong way in the live chat where I said I'm not fine with the loss. It's when you look at the entire picture, this loss makes Wednesdays look 10 times worse. The Flyers played a much better game tonight. But they need to finish on their chances that they got. And they didn't do that tonight. Brian Elliott, he needs to stop those pucks. He can't be giving up that rebound that lands in the blue paint. But also, then you can also credit it to the faceoff. You can't let Marchand do that. Even though it's Brad Marchand, you can't let him bully his way through to get to the blue paint and just have no competition there. To where he's able to get that stick through and poke the puck into the net. Brian Elliott, you can't let Sean Corelli you can't just whiff on that puck. You can't whiff on that with your glove. You got to stop it. You got to be better. And it also hurts going into this game because Carter Hart, early in practice today, he left a couple of minutes early. He wasn't available for tonight's game. He was listed day-to-day with back spasms. So luckily, it's only day-to-day. And AV said in his press conference that he expects Hart to practice tomorrow, which is a good sign. So maybe Hart will be the starter on Saturday. We'll have to wait and see until that announcement happens. But it also sucks today because Phil Myers, he wasn't seen during warm-ups. He was there during practice earlier this afternoon at the skate zone, but he wasn't at warm-ups. And then it was said before the game started that he was not available for tonight's game because he had an upper body injury. And AV said during his post-game press conference that we're going to find out. They're still waiting to hear out what's wrong with Phil Myers and to how bad the extent of the injury is. And we don't know what's wrong. Did he re-aggravate the rib injury, which kept him out for a couple of weeks? Maybe that's the possibility. Is it something else that he could have tweaked and he's only out for a short period of time? Hopefully it's only a short period of time. Hopefully it's only a day-to-day situation like Carter Hart is. Because now, if you're in the case of losing Phil Myers again, that's going to hurt your defensive core again. Once again, you just got him back for a couple of games, and hopefully you're not losing him again for another who knows how long period of time. It's going to hurt. It's really going to hurt. And this is like the type of game where you desperately need Sean Couturier in. Because especially on that first goal that Marchand scored, Sean Couturier probably would have had a really good chance on that battle of the faceoff to prevent Marchand from getting into that dirty area. They probably would have had a better chance on the faceoff, and the Flyers got killed on the faceoff circle tonight. I think Boston today, they won 58% of the faceoffs tonight, and the Flyers only won 42%. But still, I'm not fine with today's loss. I'm never fine with a loss. But I'm saying this loss makes Wednesday's loss looks 10 times worse. It does. Because I feel like the Flyers had a much better game tonight. They did. They had a much better game tonight than Wednesday's. They needed to find a way to bury their offensive chances. They needed to in this game. And Brian Elliott needs to stop those pucks. Can't give up that juicy rebound. Can't whiff on that puck on the Corrali goal. He just can't. Because how demoralizing that type of goal is, it's really demoralizing to a team. Really. Because at the way Moose was playing in the beginning of the game, halfway through the game, the way he was stopping pucks and keeping them in, to let that one in, it's demoralizing. It's so demoralizing to a team because you're stopping all of these pucks and you let that one go. It's gonna hurt some. It's gonna crush a team. It definitely will. That's the type of goal that crushes a team. And they got to find a way to bounce back. They really need to. Because, like I said, you already lost 4 games this season to Boston. Already lost 4. And you're not going to see Boston again until, I think, a couple weeks from now when it's the outdoor game at Lake Tahoe. So that's at least 1.5 to 2.5 weeks away there. So who knows? Maybe you'll see something different in the Flyers lineup. Maybe Couturier will be back by that time. Maybe Myers will be back by that time. Who knows how long the extent of his injury is. Who knows? Maybe something a little bit different with Boston's happening during that point in time as well. But all of these divisional games, you lost in regulation, and yes, definitely, you're throwing points away when you're losing to your division. When you're only playing divisional games, you're definitely losing out on points. You definitely are. But if I know I keep saying if the Flyers did win on Wednesday, this loss would be much better. I would be more accepted of this loss. But it makes Wednesday's loss look 10 times worse. It does. And they had chances in both of these games to win. But they choked Wednesday, and they choked tonight. And it's getting old the way they're blowing the leads as well. You can't consistently be blowing these leads in the third period. Because I thought they played much better tonight. I did. I thought they played much better. But they need to find a way to be better. They gotta be better. They gotta stop blowing these leads. They have to. So, what are your thoughts on tonight's game? What are your thoughts on what they need to fix, what they need to do better? And what are your thoughts going into the Capitals series, which starts on Sunday afternoon at 12 p.m. nationally televised? It'll be the first time we play the Capitals this season. So I want to hear your thoughts on that, so don't forget to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the panel lines, which I am a part of. Their links will be in the description below. Don't forget to check out the Fired Up Podcast merchandise website. And thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.